This is where we're going to be fishing for the next 3 nights. Benefit of hindsight, I just wish we had come here straight away and not been watching Tim empty the lake for the last 4 or 5 nights. Big old piece of water. Right, come on, let's get the stuff in the van and get the boat out. New lake, new approach. We're fishing 500 plus acre lake, of which you're looking at the moment, full of pike anglers, full of canoeists, full of rowers, and the odd carp angler spotted around the banks. Well, hopefully hardly any, Tim? We haven't seen any yet. Quite why we didn't come here earlier on the trip, I'll never know, but we made the call. Didn't work out for me, it worked out excellently for Tim. But anyway, all rods going to be respooled with mono, of a lighter, well, fairly light mono. We're fishing at mega range, so you would normally say braid would be the one, but on this occasion, with the amount of boat activity and weed out there, the braid only sits up and gets caught on the little strands of weed. So mono all the way, preferably a fluorocarbon to sit down. I've got what was it, I can't remember, I've got all sorts of different ones, but anyway, I'm going to be going with about a 15 pound breaking strain mono, which isn't the strongest mono in the world, but at least it sinks down, and I've got 300 plus yards on the spool, so we can take it mega distances. We'll be fishing 6 to 10 ounce drop off leads, and we'll be using size 4 hooks with probably what, snowmen presentations, Tim? Yeah, he's already got one rod just set up there. You're not? Yeah, I was going to say leg core as well. Right, it's time to get the rod sorted.
Just so happens to have a couple of models being photographed on the platform next to where we're fishing. They're not just plainly pervy.
Right, Tim, are we meant to be fishing or watching girls?
Just have a scan now. Do you want to have a look at a boat race? Right, we're all sorted on the rigs, got the rods all ready to go. We're just literally about to go out and start placing the baits. We've been out already in the boat, marked a few areas that seemed a little less weedy, took a donking rod out as well just to feel the bottom. And although
the Echo was a waste of time, wasn't it, Tim?
Yeah, Echo was no good at all. It was showing up vast amounts of weed. There is weed there coming up off the bottom, but with a lead with the braid, we could determine that the bottom was quite nice mud. We're quite happy with the areas. With fishing alternate rods, my furthest left just out in front of the boats here, and then they're basically fanning through. So you ready to go, John?
Just found a pair of scissors in my waders that were long lost. It just goes to show how long it's been since I put these waders on. Yeah, as Tim was saying, we've got Tim, me, Tim, me, Tim, me, Tim, me, all the way across. I think that was 4 and 4. We've got markers, you won't be able to see them. I'll zoom in once I've got the tripod out. But we've got markers at somewhere around the 250 mark, I guess. 250 yards.
Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
A bit more than that.
On the we've got
the miles out.
Yeah, the furthest one we decided to have over by the mouth of the river, didn't we? Yeah. Where it enters into the canal, and then we've staggered them back all the way back over to the right.
And we've basically sprayed about 5 kilos of a mixture of 24 and 18 mil Odyssey across the entire area. It's just a very light scattering. I'm going to load up with a load of these foam bits so we can stick them on the hook just to ensure that the bait's floating above the weed if there is any weed there, and it will just settle down on it.
Should we go and put them out there?
Yeah, let's get them out.
Let's have some 30 kilos.
All right, drop mine first. Which way's the wind blowing? Yeah, mine first.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Mine first.
Oh, we've got some waves here. Got some white horses. Right, if I can hold this still, this is John just replacing his right hand bait. Finally got it placed, mate.
It's just solid weed out there. Might have to come along your side and put one just close to the Okay, the trip just gets better and better for Mr. Colliver here. Absolutely stunning, old, immaculate, all bar a little patch there in the middle.
Real nice.
43, 14, just a notch under 44 pounds, 19.9 kilos. Real Goliath. We got the take, we got the take about 10 p.m. last night. We both went out in the boat. I was busy clearing the weed off the line because it had gone through the weed, and all of a sudden the weed just rocked and the rod tip just wenched over, and we could tell it was a bedded carp. And basically there was no fight to it. It was in the weed flapping about, and I just launched the net underneath it and got it all in. Cracker.
Show the other side.
Yeah. Cracker. Fish came from about, it was one of the slightly closer in rods, probably 175 out from the bank. Well hooked in the bottom lip, although it did open the hook out a bit, didn't it?
Yeah, size 4. I was quite surprised with that, but still held fast.
Held all right, so.
Yeah, cracking old fish. What a beauty.
Beauty. Now this is what we've come for, mate.
Yeah.
Of course, my rod ripped off at 2 in the morning, went out in the boat.
One half the size.
Well, probably, yeah, half the size it was.
Right, let's get him back.
Right, okay. One of the problems with fishing at such long range in all this weed is obviously when you get a wind on like this, it's blowing all the weed into the line and getting a right big old bow of surface weed holding the line. The weed's all out there, it's not focusing on that. It should come into focus any second now. There, you can see all that weed on the line there. That's bowing my rod right round. You need a big 6 ounce plus lead to hold bottom. I'm convinced that the lead hasn't moved. It won't have done because we're on mono and not braid. The stretch in the mono is so severe that you almost need to pull 10 yards before the lead moves anywhere, bearing in mind that's 150 yards from the lead. Tim's just going out in the boat now to try and clear some of it off the rods. I'm going to have to try and tighten up, so leave you to it. The joys of filming one of these trips. I have to bring with me the laptop. I've got 3 memory cards that take 15 gig each, but we're getting through a lot of high definition footage here, so bring the laptop with. We've got a power converter here that plugs into the car, that obviously can convert power. Got a lead, this goes into the camera which is currently recording, and we download and wipe the memory cards and reuse them. We get through a lot. It's a bit of a pain in the arse, but it's all worthwhile. Okay, that's last of the 4 rods out for me and Tim. It's 6 o'clock on second to last night. All the rods have been fished with big snowman presentations. I've got one on a double 18mm popper, but all the others are on a 24mm Odyssey Triple X with an 18mm pop-up over the top. any sort of pop-up really. I'm using the live system purely because it's a slightly lighter colour and just want that very slight additional visibility out there. Anyway, 2 kilos has gone out over each spot, liberally spread around the area, and then a couple of good handfuls bang on the money. I'm anticipating any action will be during the night, purely because there's so much boat action during the day that the carp are going to feel a lot safer when it's quiet, dark. But fingers crossed. Come on, 2 nights to go. It's not all doom and gloom yet. Okay, second biggest carp of the night. Yeah.
Nice dark fish.
Yeah.
Big eyes. Yeah, pucker fish. So look at the other side. Okay. Nice fish. Yeah, nice fish, mate.
Just when I thought the trip was looking to...
Well, second to last night, and he's come up trumps.
Penultimate night, 4 fish. Oh, 3 fish. 1 small comment, the 33, and this 46.5.
Yeah,
oh, has this
fish,
made my year or what? We know there's a lot bigger in here, but I'm going to settle for the 46 pounder. Considering we've only done 2 nights on here. Schoolboy error coming down here so late, but it's life.
Pucker mouth, no marks in it at all. As I was saying, we had a few, John had 3 fish last night. We had a bit of weed drifting about which caused us a few problems on the lines. And then we had a visitor. Luckily, we were both up after one of John's fish, but basically a guy just turned up out the middle of nowhere, 3 o'clock in the morning, and
that's the trouble with this area of France.
Did not want to leave us alone, and it wasn't.
He sat down, he started rolling cigarettes at 3 in the morning, bearing in mind.
We'd already had a car parked up over here, right next to us, and God knows what was going on in there. But this guy, he didn't want to go, and then he got his penknife out. I had to I got the mallet out. And we had to basically tell him to go.
We said, you've got to go, and threatened him with the mallet, and he went. But why is a guy getting his penknife out at 3 in the morning?
Coming down here. So we were... Sleep was quite difficult to come by last night, from the fish, the weed, and the penknife wielding French weirdo. Right, it's the 46 just going back. So the trip's over for John, but what a cracking way to do it. Gorgeous fish.
Did you get it? Okay, she's off.
Well done, that man.
Still got a bit of strength.
What, you or the fish?
Right, well, we've got to get to the ferry for 3 o'clock tomorrow, so we're gonna pack up. It'll basically mean, because we're about 10, 11 hours away from Calais, it would basically mean that we'd have to be getting up at 3, 4 in the morning, which is a no-go. So we're going to drive further up to a river which I know, and we're just going to pop them out for the night, which is a sensible drive back to Calais. So yeah, complete bomb site at the moment as we pack the van. Rod's last, of course.
London calling to the faraway towns. Now war is declared and battle come down. London calling to the underworld. Come out of the cupboard, you boys and girls. London calling, now don't look to us. Phony Beatlemania.
that just how easy it's going to be to get tackle in and out of the car. 42 pounder, and it's got a very unique scale pattern. If I hadn't had the 39 pound Dynon on, I would have lost it. It went through the snags. I was playing the other fish, which is still in the net at the moment. Went about 32 pounds, so it's my 5th carp. It's got the potential, as I said, to go a lot bigger. Very big tail on it. Just over 20 pounds. The temperature's dropped from 22 degrees to 7 degrees. Can you believe that? It's raining again. I'll talk you through what I've been doing this evening and give you a summary of the day, but it's working at the moment, guys. It's working.